everyone. Hi, I am Jessica Koch. I am back again, your host of Profound Professionals. We have been running this interview series featuring guests globally from all over the world that are industry experts, and they can help you improve your personal life or help you grow your business. And I am just thrilled today to have our guest, Diann Alexandra. She is a confidence catalyst. I love that term. She helps heart centered speakers, coaches, and entrepreneurs transform stage fright into stage confidence. And boy, do we always need confidence. This way, they can authentically connect with their audiences and have just a more profitable impact and probably a more transformative impact for their audience because they're drawn in and want to hear just so much more from them. Welcome, Diann. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you, Jessica, for having me.
I am thrilled to have you. Your topic just excites me beyond measure. So tell me, how did you decide that you needed to be a confidence catalyst?
It happened, actually, the confidence catalyst part, I thought started at the pandemic when I ended up going into this business. But as I thought about it, it really started when I was very little. Like many of us, I grew up in a turbulent household.
Mm,
So in order to make things work, I made myself really small. So
mm,
never inflame the big people, hide, just keep quiet. And that worked for me until college. And
mm.
at college, I commuted with my girlfriend, who was one of the best singers in the whole department. And I was waiting for her for our ride. And the door creaked open of the class, and this professor stuck his head out and said, "Hey, we're short a singer. Come in here, sing this." Well, if public speaking is the number one fear, you can imagine about singing. So I went in and he was the head of the department. So was I going to tell him, "No, I'm not going to sing for you"? And he said, "Nice voice. Take the class. By the way, you need voice lessons." So if that wasn't scary enough, what was scarier than that was the jury at the end of the voice lessons. So at the end of the semester, this horrific thing called juries meant that you had to sing for a grade in front of the faculty. But for some reason, they thought I belonged in the jury where you had to sing for a grade in front of the entire music department, all of the students and their friends and family. Oh my gosh. The day for the jury came. I remember clutching my music tightly at the back of this very long aisle. And when it came my turn, I was shuffling down people on the right, people on the left. And somehow, by the grace of God, I managed to give my music to the pianist without dropping it. And you know how piano has that big curve in it? I leaned my body against that and just kind of scoot, 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 because I was so scared. In the big black bar, I white knuckled that baby because I knew I was going down if I did not do that. And everything flashes through your head. Oh my gosh, what if I forget everything? What if I mess up? What if they're going to kick me out of the department? What if they figure out I don't know anything? What if I let them down? What if I let my parents down? What if I let me down? You know, the what if, what if, what if, what if. It was just the most horrific thing ever. My mom said you could see my knee shake from the back of that very large room. I don't remember much about the jury, but what I remember was I never wanted to feel that way again.
Mm.
So I've been spending my life finding ways to have confidence in those performance situations. And now 50 years later, I have quite a perspective on what that's all about. Even though it was the pandemic that kind of said, "Why don't you just talk just about confidence?" Because there's a big sound lag and it's hard to teach singing when you have a sound lag.
Mm.
And what I found is that the essence of understanding what is actually happening from off the stage to on the stage is the same essence as if you have to have a conversation in an interview. It's the same essence that's in any kind of interaction, and especially on a stage, rather than "Blah," or worse yet, "Please like me, please like me." There's a space that just was not ever addressed. In college, it was all mental tools. But if you think about it, when you're scared, you're in fight and flight. Your emergency subconscious brain has triggered the safety mechanism, which is either going to make you freeze Going to make you fight, going to make you get off the stage, or please don't hurt me, fawn. And you're going to do one of those things. You're not going to be thinking, you're not going to be using all the mindset tricks. Or my favorite one in college they tried to get you to have was imagine them in their underwear. Ugh. Well, that didn't work. So when we first can learn, oh my gosh, if you can loosen that piece up, just go ahead and try with me. If you tighten your neck really, really tight and try and breathe, it's really hard. And that's the first thing that happens when fight and flight kicks in when we're nervous. So now bubble your neck like those little dolls on the car dashboards and inhale. A little easier, yeah? Now, hands on your low belly, bobble your neck, inhale down, push your belly against your hands on the inhale. Easier still. One more. Bobble your neck, inhale through your nose, hands down the low belly, push it out. Now hold it a few seconds, and you can either blow it out through your nose or your mouth with a sigh. Do you notice the difference?
Yes.
Congratulations, you have activated your parasympathetic nervous system. So now you can get back in where the mindset things can work. Now, maybe imagine them in their underwear is not going to work ever. But those simple ones, like people say, oh, I have to do this versus I get to do this. Now you know why I get to do this is so much more powerful because it loosens, it releases all of those physical things that keep us locked in the fight and flight. So step one is always a physical. Can you release that emotion to go on to the next place? And if that's all you took away from me and you remember to loosen your neck and breathe down into your belly slow and hold it and exhale, you'd be well on your way for whatever it was that you needed to connect with people or to establish. And it becomes more once you're calm, then the audience wants to come in and train to you, as opposed to here I'm going to all over you. So there, and so that's why.
So if someone was going to come and get some extended support from you, what does it look like? Is it one-on-one? Is it in a group session? Is it all virtual? Is it in person? Is it an online course? Is it all of the above? What are the things that they do
Yes,
with you?
yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
I there's a piece of it in all that belongs in all things. I like a little bit of coursework in the beginning so that there's a lot of standard things that you need to know, such
Mhm.
as the tightness in the neck and learning to breathe. But then there's the piece of, well, what are you? Are you a freezer? Are you a fawner? Are you a fleer? Are you a fighter? What are you? Because that's going to really determine what's the best way for you to deal with that. And there are physical things you can do. There are mental things you can do, like you can't do, have to. There are energetic things that you can do. And in fact, I love to show people, if there's time to give you a little exercise that you can do with energy, how you can throw your energy around and become like an energy magnet, become something the way that people want to be drawn into you. Emotions are energy and motion. And then there's sonic. There's the use of sound. Obviously, I'm a singer, writer, composer, and I have alchemy crystal singing bowls. There's a lot that sonic can do to calm you that bypasses your busy brain. So
Mm. That's excellent. So there's lots of different ways they can work with you one-on-one. They
yep,
can work with you in group sessions or probably
right.
get some online courses. And I'm
And,
imagining you do lots of virtual things.
well,
So
and the workshops are especially valuable. And honestly, they even work on virtual ones where you get up and you have to perform in front of people because you cannot practice stage confidence without an audience. You
mhm,
just can't do it. The microphone and the video is not the same. It's helpful
mhm.
feedback. I highly admit that. And then if you can have the feedback right then and there, what happened, so that you can then the second time do it and try it again, then you have rewired things, neurocircuitry in your body that's going to allow you to retain it more. And now you have a success. Those little success cheers. I'm sure you have had so many people on here that talk about the importance of a little success cheer. I did it. you know,
I love a good I did it. I was thinking about what kind of speaker am I? I think I'm like the show woman, if you would, or the ringmaster at the circus that has the big hat and the great jacket. And I feel like I have booming excitement, joy, and energy. And I think that's the kind of how I show up in my style in
I
a lot of
certainly feel
ways.
that. Certainly feel that for you.
So you shared so many great tips, starting with breathing and loosening your neck and getting yourself prepared so that you can connect to your mindset and really connect and attract your audience versus the verbal explosions that are less desirable for from a speaking stage out spread onto their audience, unless you're Gallagher and you're smacking a couple of watermelons. Now that's something else. So now I've showed my age. Don't put in the comments who's he, what watermelons. We don't want to hear that. That means you're too young to know. Uh, so what's another tip? I'm going to just keep pulling tips out of Diane,
Oh, I
ladies,
have so many tips.
until she says uncle. So we'd like another tip that they could apply to their life today on this as we journey through this interview together.
May I tell you a little story to illustrate?
I think stories are the bomb.com, so story it on.
Oh, right. Um, there was a tenor soloist in our church named Fred. And when Fred would come out to sing his solo, he'd walk out with his robes flowing and he'd take the stage, and you could hear a pin drop. Everybody loved Fred. One day, I got my courage up and asked him, I said, Fred, how do you do it? Everybody loves you. And he said, "Ah, it's easy. When I walk out, I look out with my eyes. I don't say anything, with my eyes, and I send everybody love. I thank them for being here. I thank them for celebrating with me. I send everybody love." And I went, I was the kind of soloist who did a solo and went out going, please like me, don't mess up, don't mess up. So this was like a revelation, because if you think about it, the please like me, your energy is in, your energy is contracted, you're in fight and flight, and people are not going to respond well to that. I mean, do you ever respond well to someone to please like me?
Mm.
Sometimes you'll have compassion for a little while, but as opposed to Fred coming out there sending you love, and it was a mindset that you can do in a moment. The next week I had my solo, so I said, I'm going to try that. So I walked out sending everybody love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for celebrating with me. I'm sending you all love. And it was a completely different experience. So
Mm.
if you have the tools to loosen your neck, breathe deep in the body, you get to do this, and I'm going to send everybody love and be of service. You have changed your physiology so dramatically that in a very short time you shifted from to okay.
That is super, super exciting because love is the most powerful energy at all of
Mhm.
all. And I believe we're all energy and all our energies are connected. And so
Yes.
when you start that frequency and you start that ripple domino effect and push it out to connect to all the people with all the things, what a better way to start off any speech is with that powerful energy of love. So that is a brilliant tip. Now, we do this show and started it, and from the start, we have featured amazing nonprofits and causes from all over the world. It's been so interesting. There's so many of them. I dare to say there's millions of causes and nonprofits out there, all unique and different in their own special way. And we've just learned about so many new and interesting ones and been reminded of the tried and true ones that have been there for just so long, supporting the community in their special way. And this helps us take a second to step out of highlighting the brilliance of Diann or the host Jessica and all of our business and all the things we can do in the world, but also just to remember that people matter most. Our community is our globe, and the causes really support that community in such a special way. And to give a moment of our show to that, I think is just super important. So Diann, is there a cause that you think is just fab?
Actually, the one that I've supported over the years that I love so much is called The Greater Good. And
Mm.
it's a bigger umbrella for about 10 other things. Like I get a lot of my clothing from the animal rescue site, or
Mm.
there's things for the veterans, or there's breast cancer awareness. And the greater good itself, I think, reaches so many people, and they're often asking for other donations to help when tragedies happen in the world.
Oh.
They and the Red Cross is another one. Um,
Mhm.
as we were discussing before, they're underappreciated and they're on the front lines. They get right in there and
They
do
do.
things where they count.
I love that. The greater good. I didn't know that one. I
The
love
greater good.
learning about a new one. That's awesome. Oh, so good. Okay. So, is there anything else about you personally, Diann, that we didn't touch on, or your business in general before we start wandering our way into the book segment of our show?
There are several things. There's one little piece that makes me different than everybody else that I would love to share. And along with the confidence thing, as you said, everything is energy. Our connections are energy, dense energy, and so on. Sound is a very powerful energy.
Yeah.
And when we get nervous and so forth, or if you think of your favorite music, a lot of performers, speakers, presenters will listen to their favorite music before they go on because it shifts them. They go right back to when they heard it the first time or what the experience is for them. Our own voice is very powerful. That's why they have affirmations and humming. And
Mm.
I actually play alchemy crystal singing bowls. And you might say, why? What does that have to do with confidence? Well, alchemy crystal, 100% pure quartz crystal is one of the most even vibrations you'll ever find. It's been used for decades in electronics because they can depend on it to be even. We are also crystalline. We're mostly water. So
Mm.
when we have a day when we're feeling a little wonky and we hear one of these nice even bowls, the whole physiology goes, want to be even. And it bypasses the monkey mind with all the thoughts and so forth and gives you an experience in a very short amount of time as to what that feels like. And so I haven't taught you how to throw energy back and forth, but if you just bring your attention on yourself, like inhale, bring in your belly, notice where you are, your feet, your seat, just to bring your energy to yourself. Just notice, is anything tight, is anything wonky? When I play them, notice if it makes a change in you in any place. It's another one of my quick tips. So take a nice breath in, relax. Everything's okay. There's nothing right, nothing wrong. Did you notice anything? A shift or nothing?
I felt tingles in my belly and I just felt calmer and a sense of joy. So I think that that is lovely and beautiful. So thank you for sharing that.
You're
It
welcome.
it's just beautiful. You're just so full of so many things. We're gonna have to have you back on another show.
I would love that.
Quickly, I want to ask, is there a book that written by someone else that personally inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business?
Well, this is very personal, but when your personal gets in line, when you are aligned with energy and with source, it's a direct reflection in the business. So
Mhm.
my favorite book is called The Energy Codes by Dr.
Mhm.
Sue Morter. And it's a whole way of combining the spiritual side with the physical side so that we can live from a grounded space, but have your soulful self, your soulful purpose, your passionful purpose come out from a place very much like the bulls of you be it. Not you go do, 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 but
Yeah.
you be it, and then you become that magnet where life comes to you in that way.
Oh, I just love that. Now, I would also say that I thank you because you're out there and you're part of our energy and you're watching. So thank you for watching, sharing, commenting, liking. If you're an industry expert, reach out to us. If you know one, send them to us. We want to have you on our show. We want to feature you. And we want to thank you for getting this out there so that the person who really needed to hear maybe just the vibrations of that beautiful sound Diann shared, or one of her many millions of brilliant tips. Um, Thank you from the bottom of our heart for sharing. Now, before we say goodbye, one final thought, Diann.
You matter. Your
Mm,
voice matters. You need
amen.
to get it out there. We need it. You matter. And I
I
appreciate you
love that. Love it, love it, love it. I hope you've enjoyed being on the show, Diann, as much as we've loved
so
having
much,
you.
so much. Thank you kindly.
You know who I am. That's right. Still Jessica Koch, still the host of Profound Professionals, and want to say thank you again and goodbye. So be kind to yourself, be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.